Hello, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels live hospitality talk show. No longer a radio show. We did some new things. We got a new platform. We're trying to move and shake in a different direction. But I just want to make sure everybody is able to hear me okay. So if someone could, send me a message saying that it sounds good, sounds horrible, you need to try again, you need to rethink this. I mean, I would, I, I would appreciate that. But thank you so much for joining. Like I said, I have a new platform. We're streaming live now on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook Live. So we're doing a little bit different stuff. We're no longer with the that's okay, Marsha. You don't have to do it now. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. But as long as you can hear me okay, that's what I'm actually what I wanted. Okay, you see me okay? You hear me okay? Okay, see, now I'm my own producer, my own writer, my own everything. So I have to have someone, make sure I'm doing okay, right? So thank you so much, Marsha. Marsha is my sister, just in case you did not know that. But thank you. I guess she's going to take the place of Ronan. She's the new Ronan. Anyway, but thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, we have a new platform. I'm doing everything via StreamYard now. So this is a StreamYard platform. So that way I'm able to broadcast live on 3 different platforms without having to, cut and paste and copy the video and things like that. And I can get, I think I can get more chats and things like that. And in fact, I can control a little more too. So you can actually send me a private chat, not a private chat, but if you want to say, ask me a question or whatever, I think you can do that. At least I'm trying to see if we can do that. But anyway, we're going to move forward. So hopefully it all works out. Connecting people and collaboration, that's what we're all about. No matter what platform we're on, we're still all about connecting people and collaboration. Hashtag hospitality unplugged, which means, everything within the space, the hospitality space we talk about. These are my thoughts. This is what I think about certain things. We talk about, trends that are going on in our industry. We talk about, people, places, all that kind of stuff. We talk to influencers, we talk to directors of sales, general managers, we talk to everyone within the space, and we have them on the show. We interview them, we talk about their careers and whatever. So it's hashtag hospitality unplugged, because we're not afraid to talk about certain things, but just because you can say certain things doesn't mean you should say them. We're not here to bash people or blast people or anything like that, but we are here to bring things to the industry. Thank you, Lonnie Wolf, for saying everything's perfect. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. He's on LinkedIn, so I do appreciate you chiming in and letting me know that I sound okay and maybe look halfway decent too. I'm not sure, but I got my new jacket on. I got for Christmas and everything, so I thought I'd put that on today. Anyway, today is February 16th. Show number 95. It's show number 95, and it's the first show on the new platform. So, we're trying to break ground here. If you ever thought about doing a podcast or a show, I mean, this is not a podcast anymore. This is more of a live hospitality show, right? So it's, like I said, it's streamed on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook Live. But sometimes we just have to go for it. I learned a lot from LA Talk Radio, and I want to give them a shout out, Sam and Ronan, for I was with them for 2 years. So it was a tough decision for me to leave, but they taught me a lot. So I can only be grateful for them. So thank you so much. And if things don't work out, I can always go back. Sam told me I can come back if things didn't work out. So thank you so much, Sam. I do appreciate that. Michelle Carlin, hello. How are you? Thank you for saying this is a nice jacket. I do appreciate that. She's the reason why I wear jackets. So she told me that I need to wear a jacket and look more professional, is what she told me. So she said, lose the hat, lose the sweatshirt, don't put a hoodie on, put a jacket on. That's what she told me. So that's what I'm doing. No, she didn't say all that, but anyway. But industry news, first thing this morning, I turned on, CNBC, and I get this thing that says Arne Sorensen, CEO of Marriott, passed away after his fight with cancer. So my prayers and condolences go out to the family of Arne Sorensen as well as well, he was a Marriott CEO, just in case you didn't know that, and as well as the Marriott family as well. So a great guy, a great leader. And this is me saying this. I mean, a great leader, one of the main pillars of our industry. I mean, everybody looked for him to see what's Marriott going to do. Everybody, that's basically, everyone in the industry, they wanted to see what Marriott is going to do, and then a lot of that came from Arnie, and then in fact that whole Starwood merger and everything like that, not merger but takeover. I mean, that was all Arnie Sorensen. So he will be sorely missed. But like I said, my prayers and condolences go out to the family of him, and as well as the Marriott family. And there's a lot of Marriott family out there. I mean, not just, immediate family, but, people that he touched, people that work in hotels now that saw him at meetings or conventions and conferences. The guy traveled like 225 days out of the year. I mean, how many CEOs can you say that do that? I mean, yeah, he was a hotel person, but he was one that wanted to be basic boots on the ground, and see what people were thinking, and that's what it's all about, right? So if anything we learned from him is that, follow some of the things that he did. I mean, he led by example. So follow some of the things that he did. So if you're a CEO or you have a company, make sure you're getting firsthand information. You're out there, you're listening to people, and then you're acting accordingly, or you're running your business accordingly. So definitely he did that. And I'm a big Marriott fan because you guys all know I started my career with Marriott 150 years ago, right? So I have nothing but great things to say about Marriott, my tenure there, the people that originally hired me, and the philosophy and how they treated the employees was great. Employees, managers, whatever, they treated us all consistently. So benefits, everything. So from a corporate standpoint, there's no better hospitality company out there than Marriott, and that's coming from Russell of Hotels. Okay, so thank you. So once again, prayers and condolences to the Arnie Sorensen family, as well as the Marriott family. Vaccination passport. You guys heard about this? People, getting a vaccination passport. I mean, you get your vaccination, and I guess it's gonna be a separate passport. I mean, is this really realistic? I don't know. If it is realistic, it won't happen for several years, I would think. Because you're trying to get countries all on the same, you know, singing from the same sheet of music, so to speak. And I don't know if you can actually do that, but I got my vaccination. Just in case you guys did not know, I actually posted it last week on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. I posted that I did get my vaccination. So I'm like 21 days. No, I'm sorry. 21. Yeah, about 20, 22, 23 days from getting the second shot. So I did get the first one. I did get the Moderna. So for people that are on the fence, I mean, I didn't have any side effects other than you do get your arm is sore, a little sore for the first probably 24 hours or something like that. But it didn't stop me from doing anything. You do get a little tired, but you know, I get tired anyway. So there you go. But yeah, so is it worth getting? Do I think anyone should get it? Well, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, it's the choice is yours. No one's forcing anyone to get the vaccination, but I did get it, and I don't think about it just for me, but it's people I come in contact with your family. And if I didn't have a family, would I get it? I don't know. If I didn't want to start traveling, things like that, would I get it? Yeah, I would. So think about it like that. And I always think that if we don't get it, there's going to be some weeding out process. Okay, if you got it, okay, then you can come and do this. If you didn't get it, well then you can't do that. You can't travel. I mean, you can't get on this plane. Although you still need to wear your mask, and you still need to keep your social distance and things like that. But I just think it just gives you another shield of protection, another layer of protection, if you will. So they give you an immunization card, the date, and everything. And then when I go back and get the other one, they'll sign off on the other one as well. So was it worth it for me? Yeah, it was worth it. So done. I got my shot. I'm good. Everything's all right. Expedia. Did you know 11% of their revenue comes from Vrbo, or VRBO, which is, what Vrbo stands for? Vacation rentals by owners. That's what it stands for. That's the acronym for that. But I didn't realize that much came from, because Expedia owns Vrbo. Just in case you did not know that, 11% of their revenue comes from that. And guess what? They think that the vacation rental market is going to be huge in the coming months, because people are going to be more likely to go to like an Airbnb or Vrbo or, home rental or whatever. They're going to go that route. Or at least that's what they're betting on. Okay, so that's what Expedia is betting on. I just happened to be watching CNBC last week, and the CEO, chairman, president of Expedia was on there, and he was basically saying that. So there you go. And guess what? Stocks are going up. Expedia is up today, or at least it was up earlier. So if you don't own it, I don't know if it's the right time to buy. I'm not telling you anything. I'm just telling you that I watched it and saw that, and they are expecting more domestic travel happening, because you can't leave the country, right? People here and people abroad, they can't leave their country. They're not accepting anyone in. Some countries are, but a lot of them are not yet. So what I foresee, I mean, this is what I've been saying all along, is that people are going to be traveling or exploring domestic destinations. People in the United States, people in California, things that are, I call it a drive market. People within the industry know what I'm talking about. Salespeople within the drive market, let's say 2-3 hours away from wherever you live, those where people will be driving to, because they're comfortable with doing that. So, maybe they may travel state to state too, maybe by car. I think more than likely people will be driving by car from their, where they live to the destination and then back, right? Until we get a little bit more comfortable with what's going on out there with COVID and things like that. So that's just what I think. And actually, Expedia thinks the same thing too, because they're putting a lot of their value in that people are going to be traveling more, and they're going to be using the vacation rentals versus hotels. So, they win either way, right? So they actually own, Vrbo. And then, of course, they have Expedia where, hotel people can make reservations through there too. So, I think they'll do okay. Hotels, on the other hand, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So that home rental market is heating up, just in case you did not know that. And who does Vrbo compete with? They compete with Airbnb and Booking Holdings, just in case you didn't know. And Booking Holdings owns Agoda, Kayak, Booking.com, OpenTable, Priceline. They own a lot of different platforms, third-party platforms, or what do we call them? OTA platform. So, which stands for online travel agents. So that's who competes with each other: Vrbo, Airbnb, and Booking Holdings. And like I said, Booking.com is probably the biggest one that we really, or Priceline. Booking.com and Priceline is the biggest ones that they own. Just in case you did not know that. Hey, you know what? I was watching, big Netflix fan, just like everyone else is, right? You guys see this new one? It's called Crime Scene: The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel, which is in downtown Los Angeles. I'm not going to tell you what happened. I'm not going to tell you, but this is a story that happened in 2013, where it was a missing girl and they found her, and it's crazy. But anyway, the whole thing is crazy, and they talk to it's a documentary, so they interview the GM, they interview some employees. Of course, LAPD are involved in this whole thing, so it's kind of a mystery of what happened to this young lady. But you need to watch it. I mean, if you have time, it has to do with hotels. And I mean, I know that hotel. I never actually been in it, but I heard stories about this particular hotel. It's called the Hotel Cecil, or Cecil Hotel, however you want to put it. So just Google Cecil Hotel. That's what they say in the UK. Cecil. It's not Cecil, it's Cecil. So just Google it. Like I said, it's a documentary on Netflix. Check it out. It's entertaining. Okay. And it's like it's a 4-part series. So check it out. So let me hold on one second. I'm going to check the comment. Oh, come on, Russ. I don't even know what the heck that even means. But anyway, sometimes when you open up this platform for people to make comments, sometimes they make the most goofiest comments in the world. I don't even know what that means. So if you're going to make comments, explain the heck what that means. Okay. So thank you so much. See, that's one thing about when you have your own platform, you can go off on a tangent if you need to. But anyway, what would prevent you from traveling in 2021? COVID, lack of vaccination? I don't know. I got my vaccination, so nothing's gonna stop me at this point. You never know. But anyway, who's hiring? I started this section about a month ago now. So I just want to highlight who's hiring just in case. Because one thing I try to do within the space, hospitality hotel space, is that if I have information that I think is of value to someone, I want to make sure I put that out. So who's hiring? Ace Hotel, downtown LA. I think I mentioned this last week, but I'm gonna mention it again. Ace Hotel, they reopened on February 4th. They're looking for an executive chef, a director of housekeeping, a market manager. They're still looking for that, from what I heard a couple of days ago. And I think they may have found a revenue manager, but I'm not sure, because that's what I mentioned last week. They're looking for a revenue manager. So let's just assume that they're still looking for that revenue manager, a market manager, director of housekeeping, and an executive chef at the Ace Hotel, downtown LA. That's what they're looking for now. Okay. Crown Plaza, Los Angeles Harbor, which is in San Pedro, California, which is right outside of Los Angeles. They're looking for a director of sales and marketing, 8 years of experience in sales leadership. And that's a 244 room hotel, just in case you didn't know. And that's on Indeed.com if you're interested in reading more or actually applying. And for the Ace Hotel, if you're interested in the Ace Hotel, you can send those resumes to me, right? And I'll get my information, or just send it at russell@russellofhotels.com. And I'll make sure the VP of HR gets it, because I know him. He's actually a close personal friend of mine. He's actually the one that gave me the positions to post or talk about on my show. So there you go. So if you're interested in that, just like I said, russell@russellofhotels.com. The Proper Hotel, downtown LA, they're looking for a DOSM, which is Director of Sales and Marketing. Minimum 10 years hospitality related experience. That's a 148 rooms hotel. And I did see that on Indeed as well. Ace Hotel, which is a Marriott brand. El Segundo, they're looking for a food and beverage manager, 3 years of experience as an F&B manager in a high volume operation. And that one was on H Careers. And then another Ace Hotel, which is in Irvine, they're looking for a general manager. Guess what? They're looking for a GM. So it's good that people are hiring, right? They're looking to hire people. That's good for the industry, right? That's good for what's going on. So they're looking for a GM, and they're managed by, or owned and managed, I'm not sure, but Pacific Hotel Group. It's a 176 room hotel, and that was on H Careers as well. So if you're just now joining in, I have to say this: we're on a new platform. This is the On Air with Russell of Hotels hospitality show, live hospitality show. We are now able to stream to LinkedIn, not Facebook, yeah, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Did I say that already? And if I didn't, I'm sorry. But yeah, so we're on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So there you go. Proper hotel. I went to this. What am I saying? I haven't scrolled up. What is okay? This was a good subject at first, but now this is one of these bad things that I keep. I have to keep talking about it, but I'm not happy about it. What's my SSI score on LinkedIn? Okay, so I'm still at 69. Okay, I'm still working on it. Hopefully having this show streamed to LinkedIn will help my numbers. Okay, that's the only reason why I did it, because I wanted to improve that score. So hopefully I'm able to improve it. Okay, so there we go. So but anyway, I got a 69 out of 100. And so SSI stands for Social Selling Index, which means it measures the impact of your social selling efforts with LinkedIn and how effective you are at establishing your professional brand. Okay, so you guys all know I rank in the top 1% within the industry, within the hospitality industry. Okay, then I rank in the top 4% of my network. So if I have 26,000 people within my network, I rank within 4% of that. Well, that's all great, fine, and dandy, but we base this on 4 different categories. So that 69 is based on 4 different categories. 1, establishing your professional brand, finding the right people to link in with or to connect with, engage with insights, meaning you're posting, you're not just liking things, you're actually posting. And I guess your postings have to have something of substantial, to be something of some substance. Obviously, mine's are not, because I score 11 out of 25. So that's a freaking F. Okay. Whew, you can tell I'm ticked off at this. And building relationships, which, of course, Russell of Hotels knows how to build relationships. I got a 25 out of 25 on that. Excuse me while I take a drink of water. So so there you go. So that's what the SSI is with LinkedIn. Just in case you were wondering, is your hotel open or did you go back to work? Create some FOMO. FOMO stands for fear of missing out. Hashtag fear of missing out. So post some things. If you're back to work, your hotel's working, you're back at the DMO, your CVB, your XYZ, your 123. Just make sure. I just made that stuff up. The F1, the 123 and ABC. I'm being silly, but if you're back working, you should post things because people won't know that you're back unless you start posting things, right? So use social media consistently to get your message out. Whatever your product or service is, stay relevant, and it should be a huge part of your marketing strategy. Done. Okay. Non-meat eats. You guys all know that I'm a plant-based person, 100%. I don't eat meat. I don't eat eggs. I don't eat dairy. Okay. So no cheese unless it's a plant-based cheese. So for Black History Month, because Black History Month is the entire month of February. Yeah, we get a month to talk about Black history, but I wanted to highlight some restaurants that I actually, go to or I frequent, and they happen to be Black owned. Okay, so there you go. Karuba's Yardie Kitchen, which is a Jamaican restaurant that has, now they're vegan friendly, so they're not 100% vegan, but that's okay. But they are vegan friendly. So what I normally get, it's in Inglewood and it's on Centinela Boulevard. It's I get the jerk jackfruit plate. So it has jerk jackfruit. You know what jackfruit is? It's a fruit that's kind of, it has a consistency. Once it's pulled apart, it has the consistency like a pulled pork, right? So they put this jerk sauce, they marinate in this jerk sauce, and if you like spicy, this jerk sauce is on point. Okay, and then it comes with plantains and the rice and peas and the standard things that you would expect from a Jamaican restaurant, right? It's just the only thing that's different is that it's not chicken or beef. It's actually jackfruit, which is a fruit, right? So there you go. And then they actually have a vegan wrap too that comes with, I want to say it's Beyond Meat, but it's crumbled and it has a jerk seasoning as well. So if you like spicy, you happen to be in the wood, that's Inglewood, not Hollywood, but Inglewood, or you just want to come out there and check it out. Karuba's, Karuba, Karuba Yardie, Yardy Kitchen. Okay, Karuba's Yardie Kitchen. So I have a sister-in-law that lives in Hemet. Okay, now Hemet is about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from LA. Okay, so it's going east. I don't know if that's southeast. Okay, something like that. But anyway, it's way in the heck out there. So it's in the middle of nowhere. It's not near Blythe, but it's going in that direction. Okay. It's not the end of the world, but you can see it from there. But she comes all the way out here to get oxtails. I mean, how people like oxtails. She comes out here to get oxtails, and she'll order two orders. She'll eat one here, and then she'll take one back. So that tells you how good the place is. If somebody would drive 2 hours to get this thing, you get food from this place. I mean, it must be all right, right? So anyway, hotels, and this is only for hotels, right? Are you reinventing yourself? Because normally I just say, are you reinventing yourself, meaning for people or your brand, personal brand or your professional brand? But I'm asking hotels specifically, are you reinventing yourself? Are you swerving? Swerving is, to me, is like the P word that everyone has overused, right? I use swerve. I don't pivot. We swerve on air with Russell of Hotels. So if there's no business travel, okay, I'm asking the hotels, if there's no business travel, it's going to take a while for that to rebound, right? How are you promoting to the leisure market? And hold on one second, I need to make something disappear here that keeps popping up. So how are you promoting to the leisure market or your local market or your drive market? Now, drive market, like I said a little while ago, is within a couple hours of your hotel, right? So you're marketing out to, like, so for LA, or you would market like to Bakersfield or Palm Springs or San Diego or Santa Barbara or something like that. or Central Valley, which is a little bit past Santa Barbara. So you would market, or maybe even Vegas, you would market out to those people. And because you're trying to get that local market, because that's what's going to come back first. Your local markets and your leisure markets are going to come back first, meaning they're going to come back and use your hotel. But what are you doing? Have you swerve? Are you doing something different? Are you offering packages like an internal foodie package? Are your food and beverage outlets open? I don't know, because of COVID. I mean, things in California, they're kind of, it's kind of hit and miss as far as hotel restaurants are concerned, because I don't know if they've gotten the okay, in order to reopen or whatever. But there's other options though. Okay, right? So say it's not within the hotel. Say you have a hotel that doesn't even have a food and beverage operation. There's things that are outside. We're swerving like it's 6 years. Thank you, LinkedIn user. But there's restaurants that are open maybe for pickup, or dine outside. You can set up something with them, so you can do like a foodie package. I'm just throwing, because I love food, right? So you can have a foodie package, or a lot of hotels are going to spa packages and all this kind of stuff. But how are you getting this message out? I guess I'm saying this to say, how are you getting this information out? How are you improving your guest experience? Because that's what people are going to be looking for. So if it's a local market, you're trying to get more local people, people within your drive market. What are you doing to enhance that guest experience where people will want to come back? Because it's one thing to get people to come initially, but how do you keep them coming back? Because the more you're able to keep people coming back, the less marketing you have to do. But sometimes we don't even think about that. We don't want to take care of the people that are coming. We're trying to get more people, new people all the time, which of course, yeah, that's what you want to do. But what about the people that already used your hotel before and maybe they had a great experience? Are we marketing to those people? We get all kind of information, to market to people, but do we use it to the fullest effect that we could be using it? I don't know. I mean, I'm just speaking from a former DOS perspective. Sometimes we don't. Okay, we don't, because then we run into, well, it's going to cost X amount of dollars. Well, your marketing budget needs to be pretty significant for you in order for us to keep doing things, right? But anyway, that's what I wanted to ask on that. So are you swerving? Are you reinventing yourself? Okay, so just make sure, listen to some of that stuff I'm saying, because it's good stuff. I didn't just pull it out of my butt. This is something that I've used I've done in the past, or I've used in the past. So let's just make sure we're doing that. And because the thing of it is, when we do these things, when we're promoting, are we promoting it for people to come back to your website? If you're doing that, then you need to use social media to do that, right? Or how else would you be doing it? Okay, so promoting through, and you need to use several different platforms, not just one platform, because you want to reach more people. You want to cast a wider net, correct? So if you have any questions about, using social media to get more business, to drive more business, Russell of Hotels is here. Russell@russellofhotels.com is my email address. So feel free to send out information. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. Contact information. I just talked about that. Contact information. Russell@russellofhotels.com is my email. I'm on Twitter at Russell of Hotels. I'm on IG, Russell of Hotels. LinkedIn, I have two of those pages. LinkedIn, Russell L. Edmond, and Russell of Hotels is my company page. Facebook, I have two of those, Russell L. Edmond and Russell of Hotels. I have a YouTube channel, Russell of Hotels. So please subscribe. No one subscribed last week. I'm still but I'm at 19 people, right? I'm trying to get to 20. Can one person go to YouTube and like and subscribe? Okay, check it out. Okay, thank you, appreciate it. Clubhouse, check this. I mentioned this last week, but I'm gonna get to giving Kat Von B, who was on my show last week, and she's the one explaining the whole Clubhouse thing to me. That thing is addicting. I listened to certain shows. In fact, I even got invited to the stage on a couple of different chats. So they're audio chats, right? So you can go in these rooms and you can there can be up to 5,000 people in a room. So I think this is going to be the new, people are going to start having concerts and all this stuff. And the thing about it is it's an exclusive club. Okay, meaning you have to be invited by someone else to get into the club. You just can't get in there, right? You have to have an iPhone because it's not open or hasn't been configured or opened up to people that have Droids yet. So it's iPhone specific, and then you have to be invited by someone that's already a member. So Kat Von B invited me, then I got 3 invites. So I invited, I know Stephanie Mack, I invited, and Victor Simmons, I invited, because I want to see how it works. I think I invited Stephanie because I wanted to see how it works, and I think I was talking to her, and she was available to do that. So anyway, but I still have 1 invite left. So if somebody wants an invite and you haven't got it, Marsha, I'll send it to you. I'll invite you. So, and if you haven't been on it yet. So, but yeah, so it's interesting. So, and you can talk about different things. I mean, you can get in chat rooms with that. Bitcoin is huge, right? So people are talking about like Bitcoin for dummies, right? If you don't know anything about a Bitcoin, you can go on one of these chats and find out. If you want to talk about hospitality marketing, they have a chat for that. Or, working on your personal brand or your professional brand. I was on one of those yesterday, and that thing went on for hours. I had to get out. I'm like, well, I don't have time for 2 hours to be on this darn thing. But there's a lot of information. You can just sit back in the background and just absorb the information, just listen. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. But sometimes if they're smaller chats, they will ask you, hey, in fact, because I was on one with Kat Von B, and of course she's gonna, oh, my friend Russell's there, so, and then they're starting to ask me questions. So they invited me on the stage, and then I got to talk and, talk about who I am, talk about my brand, talk about how I got started and all this kind of stuff. Similar to how I do the show, right? So it's kind of similar to that. So it's interesting. So if you're invited, or if you got invited and you hadn't been on it yet, check out Clubhouse, and check out their stock too, just in case you didn't know. Website. So website, I have a website, russellofhotels.com. Sponsorship opportunities. So you want to be a marketing disruptor? That's what I am. I'm a marketing disruptor. Would you want your brand to be represented by a marketing disruptor? I mean, that's what I would want, right? So I'm the marketing disruptor. So we have availability. If you're interested in sponsorships, or me promoting your brand or whatever, just reach out to any of those contact information, and that's what I'm here for. So get your message out to the right people. Special promos. Maybe your hotel is opening, or maybe you're having a grand reopening, your restaurant or your hotel or whatever the business is, announcing your new business, whatever you would like out there. Because we reach thousands of people a week. So why not you utilize Russell of Hotels? If you have any other questions, I mean, you can go to my site, go to russellofhotels.com, look at the sponsorship tab, click on it, and it'll tell you all the information, what's included and all that stuff. And you can also reach out to me at any time. Who listens and what? We have feeder cities, meaning, a lot of people listen in these particular cities: Chicago, Orange County, Los Angeles, because I'm based in Los Angeles, Chicago, San Francisco, New York. Sometimes it's Atlanta. It varies based on who's listening and who's not. But we also get things international as well. Excuse me. For whatever reason, the Caribbean goes wild. They go nuts with on air with Russell of Hotels. So Barbados, Bahamas, Jamaica. So I can't think of that. I know there's at least one more. Those countries, and then the UK, Canada, the different parts of Canada, Toronto to Vancouver, Montreal, Australia, New Zealand. And those are just to name a few. I'm trying to get on the continent of Africa. I haven't got there yet, but I'm in Europe. I've hit some places in Asia, the Philippines, parts of China, but I'm trying to make my way. And Thailand, we have a couple people that listen in Thailand, and I'm trying to make my way to Africa. I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but we're gonna get there one day, and I'll let you know when I'm there. But we're trying to just do some different things. We're trying to be global. I mean, we are global, but we're trying to do more. We're trying to appeal to more people, right? So, and we'll get there. We'll get there because 94 shows ago, I didn't know that I would even be at this point. Okay, so I'm glad that I'm there. What is the Russell of I can't speak. What is the Russell of Hotels Group? We do branding, digital marketing via social media. Help build your brand presence through videos and postings. I'm a radio show host. Oh no, I can't say that anymore. I'm a hospitality show host. No longer radio. Hospitality show host. I interview today's hospitality professionals, and I'm a disruptor of the status quo, which means I don't do marketing like everyone else does. What fun would that be? I mean, you want people to remember stuff. You want to be in people's, not, you don't have to be in people's faces, 24 hours a day, but the messages you put on, they need to resonate with who your audience is, right? So that's what I try to do. Try to make sure that it resonates with who the audience is, and they remember and they act on it, right? So that's what I try to do, and you do that through being a disruptor of marketing, collaboration, connecting people, and pointing people in the right direction. That's what I try to do. And I ask these questions all the time. How is your professional or personal brand staying relevant? That's one. Number two, knowing what you know now, is there anything that you would do differently or that you are doing differently? Number three, have you connected with anyone new lately? Four, what has this situation taught you? And the situation meaning, with COVID and things like that. So what has this situation taught you? Hotels, are you selling differently? Are you marketing more or less? That's a good question. I mean, are we just like, well, we can't do anything because we're not booking anything? Well, no, I just got off the phone with somebody and they say things are, moving forward. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm kind of, am I optimistic? Am I pessimistic? I don't know. I'm on the fence at this point. I mean, things are going to be moving better, but not as fast as what this gentleman. He's a meeting planner. Not as fast as what he thinks they're going to be. But I don't know. But we still have to market. We still have to market what we do. We still have to market to people out there because, like I said, the leisure market is coming back first, right? The drive market is coming back first, which is still leisure, right? So, what are we doing for those leisure people? So, are we keeping our brand in front of people? Are we staying ahead of our competition? That's what we need to do. Are we waiting for things to happen, or do we make things happen? Do we wait for the phone to ring, or do we go out and make the phone ring? Are we being proactive, or are we reactive? Are we reactive salespeople or proactive salespeople? Okay, that's a good question. Quick shout out, and I mentioned this earlier. Just another quick shout out to Miss Kat Von B, aka the Traveling Greek. She was live from Croatia. She's in Croatia now. We'll be there probably for months to come, I guess. I'm not sure. She can't get out of there. They're not letting anybody out now. She got into this small window. She got in there because she does work there. So I mean, I understand why she's there. But if she wanted to leave, this is hard to leave now because they've actually closed that window for people to leave to get out. So, but she's happy where she is. She's still working, so that's all that matters. But she was live from Croatia last week, and she's the one that explained the whole Clubhouse to me, the platform and how it works. And it's always good to have an advocate, right? Someone that's gonna, like, if I go into one of these one of these private rooms, chat rooms, she's there and she'll introduce me to all these other people, right? So I've gained more followers on my social media stuff just because of those people that are there, right? More people that are asking me questions, more people that know me, and these things are international, right? So she's in Croatia. There was people in Greece. There was somebody in New York. There was someone in China. I mean, there's people all over the world that are talking and having conversations about how they do business, right? We do business a certain way here in the States, but they do business totally different than what we do, right? And they only know if they interact with people that are, American, or maybe they've done business with American companies or American brands or whatever. So there's this one girl on there, I can't think of what her name was, but she was from New York, but she worked for Nike in Oregon, but then she got transferred, got a promotion, and she was with Nike in the Philippines for like 5 or 6 years. So she had a whole totally different perspective how Nike does business, or as far as their brand and things like that in the Philippines versus how she was doing business in Oregon. So you just learn a lot. If you just sit back and listen, you learn a lot of stuff from how people do business. And I just think it's just great where you can get in dialogues with people that normally you wouldn't even get in a dialogue with. Quick shout out to Mr. Walter Moore. Appreciate that. What's the name of your company again, Walt? So I can give you a quick shout out since you're there. Come on, Mark. Come on, Walt. Come on, Walt. One thing about having your own show now, your own platform, you can go as long as you want, right? So the show's not gonna go an hour today. In fact, I'm winding down right now. So, but I wanted to basically get on and get a feel for what's going on, get a feel for the new platform. I wanted to keep it to the same time that I was normally doing. That's 1 o'clock PST. But the show can be, I can do it anytime, but I think it's important, at least this in my perception, because I've been doing this for what, 2 years, and 1 o'clock on Tuesday has always worked for me. So that's what I'm trying to keep to, because you have to be consistent, right? You want to be consistent where people remember that, okay, yeah, Russell's going to be on this time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep to that. But, before I get off, I wanted to thank, I want to mention LinkedIn. I don't know why, but no, LinkedIn. They, at first, I think I mentioned this before. I had tried to go, apply for their live status in order to broadcast live. I tried to do this maybe it was a year ago, last year, sometime, and they got turned down. Right? I don't know if it's because I didn't have enough people that watched the show, or I was too new. I don't know. I don't know what their criteria was. But anyway, they allowed me to do it. So I do want to thank LinkedIn for opening the gates to me to, in order to broadcast live. And I do appreciate that. And another thing what LinkedIn did, and this is something real subtle that maybe a lot of people don't even know. In that, I don't know if it's just on my screen or everyone else's screen, but LinkedIn actually, they're paying homage to Black History Month. So I appreciate that. I mean, those are things that, some people may not even notice that. They may not even notice that the logo, the LinkedIn logo, is a different color. Black, white, was it black, red, green, and black, okay, which happen to be, African American colors, okay. So people don't even, if you're not African American, you may not even know that. But they actually changed the logo to reflect Black History Month. So those are things that I appreciate. Those are things that I see that I appreciate. So maybe everybody else doesn't. Maybe they're like, yeah, well, I never even noticed that. But yeah, those are things that I noticed, right? So thank you, LinkedIn. Appreciate you. And then I'm going to end this show. And every show from now is going to be ended with this. And these are the Russell of Hotels, the 4 P's, right? Number one is purpose. Know what your why is. Know why you do what you do, right? I need to know why I'm doing this show. I'm trying to reach hospitality people, or just people out there, professionals that maybe want some information about how the hospitality industry does business, how to operate a hotel, how to run a hotel, the different facets of running a hotel, guest service. I mean, those are things that I've been experiencing with years. I mean, over the years, 25, 30 years, right? So I'm trying to first, I don't want people to forget about the hospitality industry, in spite of what's going on with COVID and hotels closing or hotels being at 10% or whatever. Guess what? It will come back. Travel will come back. It will never be the same, though. That's the unfortunate thing. And that's what I keep telling people. But people like, well, no, it's going to be back. It's going to be back, 2019 levels. I don't know when that's going to be. And I hope that's the case. But you got to walk before you can run, right? So we may get back there, but we got a long way to get there before we even get there, right? So, but know your why. And the reason, like I said, the reason why I wanted to do this show is to kind of give back, right? I wanted hospitality professionals to come on, talk about how they got involved in the industry. What do they do? How do they start? Because there's people that are coming, we're phasing out, right? People, that came up with me, they're retiring. They're phasing. I'm not that old to retire, just so you know. Okay, I'm one of the younger ones. Okay, but people are leaving the industry because of what's going on with COVID, right? So just remember that. So we're getting a whole influx of people coming back in, or new people that are coming in. So I want to make sure that I'm giving people information that's pertinent to them, right? So if it's hotels information, if I'm inviting a what do you call it, an influencer, travel influencer, to come on, like I did last week, Kat Von B, and she didn't just talk about her time in Croatia, but she was talking about what was going on in Europe with travel, and because she has a lot of people that she talks to, right? So I want to tap into certain people and ask them exactly what's going on with travel. So those are the good people to talk to, an influencer, someone that has been traveling for the last 15 years. That's all she did. She's a brand ambassador for certain hotels. She does luxury travel. So why not bring somebody on the show that knows more about being an influencer and all that kind of stuff? So that's why I bring those people in. So you can be, like I said, know your purpose. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, people. Be a leader. Be inclusive. We're all in this together, right? So different people bring different things to the table. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Passion, either you have it or you don't. Okay, you have a passion for doing a hospitality show every week, week in and week out, or you don't, right? Well, I happen to have it, so I'm gonna keep doing it until, well, no, until I'm no longer here. Let's just say that I'm gonna keep doing it until I'm no longer here. Perseverance, be consistent, continue to evolve. Okay, I was comfortable with LA Talk Radio on their format, right? But I need a little bit more control over when I was doing the show or whatever. And I could have got that, but sometimes you just have to go out on your own. You learn what you can learn. You take that experience and you move forward. You have to do it. So you have to continue to evolve. You look at different platforms, different technology, and those are things that I did. And that's why I went out on my own to do my, you know, I mean, the show's been going on for 2 years, but it's just the platform that has changed, right? So there you go. See, you can see now I have a ticker at the end, at the bottom. I have logo. I mean, I you guys tell me, does it look better? I don't know. I don't know. I think it does. What's the other one? I said passion. Either you have it or you don't. Number 4, perseverance. Be consistent. Continue to evolve and don't give up. And swerve when you need to. I think I kind of mixed two together. But anyway, be consistent. Continue to evolve. Don't give up and swerve when you need to. Leaders need to have more empathy during these COVID times. Be more inclusive with your team. You have closed caption on LinkedIn. Is that good or bad? And should I not have that on there? We'll talk about that after the end of the show. So I need evaluation. So let me know once I get off the show. Just give me a call, and then we'll talk about that. Your brand is your culture. Focus on what you can control. I can't control everything, right? But I can control what's going on in the show, right? So focus on what you can control. God, I can't speak. Focus on what you can control. Your brand is your culture. Leadership dictates where your company will go. Let's just look at leadership. Arnie Sorensen, okay? Marriott was always a consistent company, but they did some things to shake up the industry. They've done a couple things to shake up the industry, and the company is for the better because they did those things. They spend whatever billions of dollars on Starwood, a merger that people didn't even think would even happen. Okay, so or a takeover they thought that wouldn't even happen. So leadership dictates where your company will go. So look at if we're looking for good leaders within our industry, look at the legacy that Arnie Sorensen left behind. So, and that's all I have to say. But anyway, thank you so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels live hospitality show. Like I said, we're now streamed to Facebook Live, Instagram. No, what am I saying? I don't even know what I'm saying. YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook Live. That's where we're streamed to. So anyway, I think I've talked enough. So anyway, you guys take care. Thanks again for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. And I'm gonna take us out of here. And I'm gonna see if I can use one of these new little things that I learned. I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, you guys take care.